Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahlia in this incarnation. I am here today to live my daily reflection that is quite aligned with the full moon in Aries that we are still transiting. The energy continues to manifest. And also with Mercury in Scorpio, it is in this position right now at the moment I am doing this video. So many times these topics are not the most liked ones by people. So, well, I wanted to talk about more about the opposition between Mars in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn at this point, but let's remember that this is going to be repeated 3 times, and then we are going to experiment these oppositions with Mars in Leo and Pluto in Aquarius. So many times during these transits, things on the outside, oppositions have the tendency to be protected on the outside, could activate in us the anger, the reactivity, the will of imposing ourselves to exercise the control, fear, and actually all of these are aspects of fear. So Mars in Cancer in its shadow could represent this fear to the new, to let go of what is not nurturing anymore, but is known. This could be expressed also as a threat, to feel a threat in the territory, or also a fear to see our own patterns in which we have made it identity. Because Cancer, it is very associated to this feeling of belonging. So an aspect of these transits, many times it is this projection on the outside, and as I said, the excess of focus on the shadow of the other, on the outside, that can operate as a mechanism to feel better with oneself. I mean, we all have felt once at least anger, fear, even envy, or something that is in the spectrum of this, because at the moment that, for example, we are comparing ourselves in an imbalance, I mean, you could be believing that you are in a better position than someone, in an illusion of superiority. That's why I am saying imbalance. And illusion of superiority is another shadow of Mars in Leo. So this is something very aligned with the next transit that actually is hidden a low self-esteem, or even if we are thinking that we are in a much worse situation than others, that is the victim polarity, when we think that we can do that we can not do anything about that. So the fact that one person could be putting the eye on what other have made until this point, many times without seeing the efforts behind what that person did to get to the point that they are. And I am talking about this because these topics, status, the concepts of social success are very linked with Capricorn, and Pluto is right now like demolishing many of these concepts. It is like collapsing many of these things that are not aligned with our soul, and when we are carrying those kind of things in misalignment with our soul. So from the ego, these comparisons, whether if we are talking about a better or worse position, there are always, there is always someone in a better or worse position, but we can use that shadow, in terms of envy could be transformed into admiration, so we can use that energy to move forward, to advance, in terms of our possibilities at the present moment, of course. And if we see someone in a worse position, then we can appreciate, we can be thankful for the things that we have in our reality, what is presenting in our reality, and we can use our energy also to contribute with others people's realities. And of course, there could be people that feel envy on the outside, but if um, if someone is choosing to surround themselves in their circle, I mean, with people that could feel envy, it is because that it is feeding their egos. Because if not, on the contrary, you would like to choose someone, people that surround you that sees you as an equal. Um, so we can apply this to everything. Fear can be used to be transformed into courage. There is no courage if we are not feeling fear, in fact. The laws, because many times Pluto eliminates what was already death, what was already disconnecting us from life, so we can create the necessary void for light to enter. Because in terms of energy, there is no loss. There is only a change of form. This means that an old form is destroyed, and so that another one can be generated. And all of these things are only possible when we are able to see our own shadow, when we have the courage to see our own shadow. Otherwise, it is impossible. In fact, I think that the more that we elevate our level of consciousness, more imbalances that we see in a more subtle ways, in tiny acts in our daily lives. And that is just the beginning, because once we see them, we have to put the efforts to change them. And that has an energetical demand. And if our focus is put on the outside, then it isn't put on our own patterns. So I think it is very important to pay attention to this, because this transformation is infinite. Being in any spiritual path doesn't mean we are in perfection. This means that we are willing to see what we need to change every time. Okay, thank you everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.